Have you ever stopped to think that even in the most inspiring stories, there are dark chapters that reveal the true essence of humanity? Tamar, the darkest chapter in King David's family, is not just another of the Bible stories we know. It is a narrative that challenges our beliefs about power, justice, and redemption. Of course, here are just the keywords: Bible stories. Who would have imagined that such a beloved and respected princess could be the epicenter of such a profound tragedy within one of the most influential families in history? This chapter not only touches on Tamar's pain and humiliation, but also exposes the human flaws that even the most powerful cannot escape. It is counterintuitive to think that the lineage of a revered king could harbor such devastating secrets, but it is precisely this that makes this story so impactful and relevant today. Prepare to dive into one of the most intense and revealing narratives of the Bible stories, where every detail unveils valuable lessons about the human condition and the relentless pursuit of justice. And if you're enjoying this journey through the Bible stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Share this video with your friends and give it a like to help us bring more amazing content like this to you. In the grand palace of Jerusalem, where the corridors echoed with tales of conquest and betrayals, lived a young woman of rare beauty and intelligence. Tamar, daughter of the powerful King David, carried within her a unique grace. She was not just a princess adorned in royal garments. She was a woman whose kindness transcended the walls of the court. In a world where royal blood guaranteed privileges, she seemed destined for a life of honor and respect. But not all royalty is protected from human drama. Tamar's story is not a fairy tale. It is a testament to how fragile security can be, even for those who live under the mantle of nobility. The Bible is filled with stories that reveal the dark side of power. Bible stories are not just records of the past. They are timeless lessons about human nature. Tamar's story teaches us that not even the highest position can guarantee justice. How many women, across different eras, have found themselves trapped by a fate they did not choose. How often do we believe we are safe in our own environment, only to discover that danger can arise from where we least expect it? At the heart of the court, Tamar was seen as a symbol of virtue. Her presence radiated a rare confidence, the result of the careful upbringing she had received. As the king's daughter, she knew the laws and the stories of her people. But ironically, even growing up in a home ruled by a man who wrote psalms about righteousness, her tragedy would become an example of the silence many victims face. Bible stories are full of such paradoxes. How can someone be so loved by God and, at the same time, so forsaken by men? Tamar grew up surrounded by brothers and half-brothers, but not even the bond of blood could protect her from what was to come. Like a rare flower in the midst of a garden of thorns, she may have underestimated the threat approaching her. The story, which seemed to follow a predictable course of privilege and honor, would take a dark turn. But isn't that how many stories unfold? A false sense of security, followed by an unexpected twist that changes everything? And so, without Tamar knowing, fate was already being shaped by forces beyond her control. There was someone watching her closely, someone who desired something they could not have, and that desire, fueled by silence and impunity, would set in motion one of the darkest chapters in the history of King David. Within the palace walls, where whispers spread like smoke in the wind, a forbidden desire began to grow. Amnon, David's firstborn son, a prince who should have been an example of honor and character, allowed his mind to be poisoned by a sickening craving. Tamar, his own half-sister, became an obsession, the kind of desire that does not emerge overnight, but seeps in silently until it completely takes over reason. Bible stories often show us that the greatest battle does not take place on the battlefield, but within a man's own heart. Amnon was not an ordinary young man, nor was he a man without options. As the king's son, he could have had any woman in Israel, but his greed would not bow to logic. Obsession has this nature. It transforms desire into necessity, as if one's very existence depended on obtaining what is craved. Who has not seen a man ruin his life over an impulsive decision? Who has not witnessed someone throw away everything they had built for something they should never have desired? The pages of Bible stories are filled with such characters. Powerful men who fell not for lack of resources, but for lack of self-control. But Amnon did not merely desire. He felt entitled to possess. This is the danger of impunity. When a man grows up without limits, without discipline, without consequences for his actions, he begins to believe that the entire world exists to satisfy his whims. He did not see Tamar as a person, but as an object of his gratification. And that is precisely how tragedies begin. Somewhere at some moment, someone decides that their own desires are more important than the dignity of another human being. Yet, even then, Amnon lacked the courage to act alone. Desire, no matter how intense, did not push him into action. He needed someone to turn his obsession into a plan. And that is where Jonadab, his cousin and advisor, came in, a cunning man who knew exactly how to manipulate Amnon's weakness. Interesting, isn't it? In every great downfall, there is always an ally in the shadows, whispering poison into the fool's ear. And so, Tamar's fate began to be sealed. A devious plan was born within the palace corridors, hidden behind golden curtains. While outside, the people saw only the facade of an unshakable royal family. But within the prince's heart, darkness had already taken root. And when darkness becomes unbearable, it does not remain hidden. It seeks to manifest itself. In the intricate game of power within the palace, Amnon's cunning finally found fertile ground. With the plan laid out, he managed to have Tamar come to his chamber, pretending to be ill and in need of her care. This type of manipulation is a recurring theme in Bible stories, where trust is broken in unimaginable ways. Imagine fully trusting someone only to discover that their intentions were never pure. It is a devastating blow that resonates to this day. King David, unaware of the true intent behind the request, sent Tamar to attend to his beloved son. It is curious how often the greatest tragedies begin with gestures of love and trust. Just like in our lives, when we blindly trust the people around us, we are sometimes led into situations we never imagined. Tamar's story shows us that even the strongest bonds can be tested in unimaginable ways. The Bible teaches us through these stories that ignorance can be as powerful as malice. King David, by sending Tamar, inadvertently facilitated Amnon's plan. This makes us reflect on how our actions, even well-intentioned ones, can have unexpected consequences. It serves as a reminder to always stay vigilant and question the motivations behind the decisions we make, both personally and professionally. Furthermore, this deception highlights the importance of vigilance and wisdom in the use of power. Tamar, an innocent young woman, was placed in a vulnerable position because of her half-brother's unchecked ambition. It is a clear example of how the abuse of power can destroy lives and destabilize family relationships. In a modern context, this translates to the need for ethical and responsible leaders who understand the impact of their actions on others. And so, the web of deceit began to tighten around Tamar. With each move calculated by Amnon, the princess's fate approached an irreversible abyss. The tension between the court's apparent normality and the darkness lurking backstage is something we can still observe in Bible stories and contemporary narratives. But will someone be able to intervene before it's too late? In the somber silence of the royal chamber, where the promise of protection should have prevailed, Amnon finally succumbed to his obsession. Tamar, the princess with a pure heart, faced the most devastating moment of her life. Imagine being in a situation where the deepest trust is betrayed so brutally. It is a pain that echoes through generations. Bible stories show us that even the most sacred bonds can be corrupted by unchecked desire, revealing the fragility of the human condition. Amnon, consumed by his desire, completely ignored Tamar's pleas for mercy. He used his position of power to subjugate his half-sister, an act that transcends mere moral transgression and delves into the depths of human depravity. It is a painful reminder that power, when misused, can cause irreparable harm. How many times do we witness leaders or authority figures abusing their status, leaving deep scars in the lives of those they were meant to protect. The brutality of the act did not end with physical violence. Amnon, dominated by his disdain, expelled Tamar with a cruelty that tears the heart apart. She, once adorned in royal garments and dignity, was left helpless and humiliated, without the support her position should have provided. This type of betrayal resonates strongly in Bible stories, where justice often takes time to manifest, leaving victims at the mercy of their own sorrows. How can we, in our lives, ensure that those in positions of power are held accountable for their actions, preventing others from suffering in similar ways? Tamar, now marked by this tragedy, represented lost innocence amidst the chaos of the court. Her story is a mirror to so many other narratives where purity is tainted by acts of violence and betrayal. Bible stories teach us the importance of resilience and the pursuit of justice, even when the world around us seems to crumble. It is a call for all of us to be vigilant and defenders of the truth, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. And so, the shadow of Amnon's crime loomed over the royal family, setting the stage for the reactions that would follow. The growing tension within the palace foreshadowed a sequence of events that would further shake the foundations of King David, inevitably connecting with Absalom's actions. But how would justice finally manifest amidst so much pain and betrayal? The next chapters of Bible stories would reveal that the true confrontation was only just beginning. In the aftermath of the atrocity committed by Amnon, Tamar found herself completely devastated. The young princess, who once radiated grace and dignity in the palace, was now shattered by pain and humiliation. Imagine the feeling of having your entire world collapse in an instant. It is an experience that few can fully comprehend. Bible stories frequently remind us how vulnerability can hide even in the most seemingly secure situations. Tamar, despite her privileged position, showed that true pain knows no status or power. In a moment of desperation, Tamar tore her royal garments, a symbolic act of her loss of dignity and hope. This gesture not only reflected her internal anguish, but also served as a silent cry for justice and recognition. How many times do we feel forced to show our pain in ways that others may not understand? Bible stories are rich with moments of deep emotional expression, reminding us that true strength often lies in vulnerability. Tamar, by tearing her cloak, teaches us about the importance of recognizing and expressing our own pains. Seeking comfort, Tamar turned to her older brother, Absalom. Their relationship was complex, marked by blood ties and a deep connection that transcends family tragedies. In our own lives, we often seek support from those who know and understand us best. Bible stories repeatedly highlight the importance of family and fraternal bonds in times of crisis. Absalom, despite his youth, demonstrated impressive maturity by choosing to support Tamar instead of immediately confronting the injustice committed by Amnon. Absalom, though deeply hurt by his half-brother's actions, opted for a patient and calculated approach. He understood that acting hastily could bring more chaos and suffering to the royal family. This balance between emotion and reason is a valuable lesson found in Bible stories, where wisdom often triumphs over impatience. Absalom inspires us to think strategically about how to confront injustices, showing that true strength often resides in the ability to wait and carefully plan our next steps. The story of Tamar and Absalom serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest situations, there is room for resilience and hope. Bible stories show us that adversity can reveal a person's true character and strengthen the bonds that truly matter. Tamar, though deeply wounded, found support in her brother, laying the groundwork for the events yet to come. And so, the narrative continues to unfold, leaving us eager to discover how justice and redemption will finally manifest in the complex fabric of King David's royal family. As we reflect on Tamar's story, we are reminded of how complex and imperfect human nature can be, even in the highest spheres of power. Bible stories teach us valuable lessons about justice, redemption, and the importance of facing our own flaws with courage and integrity. Tamar, despite all adversity, exemplifies resilience and the relentless pursuit of dignity amidst chaos. This narrative invites us to look within ourselves and consider how we can act with more compassion and wisdom in our own lives. But this journey does not end here. We want to continue exploring these deep and instructive stories together. If you found this analysis inspiring and wish to delve even deeper into Bible stories, don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel. Activate the notification bell to receive all updates and not miss any content that we have prepared with such care for you. Share this video with friends and family who can also benefit from these reflections, and, of course, give a like to help us grow and bring more incredible stories to our community. Your participation is essential for us to continue providing knowledge and inspiration to all who follow us.